Imagine hearing an odd sound that can't be explained, or seeing a shadowy figure move, but no one is there. A light flickers.
You feel a cold breath on your neck. Is it your imagination, or is it real? 1800s, St. Francisville, Louisiana. A family is poisoned. 2 little girls die, and a slave girl is killed as punishment. This sets in motion a history of tragic events
that lead many to say that Myrtle's plantation is cursed. 200 years later, Aaron and Shalita have come to see if those who died at the Myrtle's plantation still haunt the place
where they once lived. 2001, Port Townsend, Washington. 17-year-old Casey works across the street from the haunted
Manresa Castle. For years, he has heard the stories of the ghostly priest who's said to roam its halls. When Casey and his friend Joey decide to investigate, they are looking for excitement.
They are not disappointed. These are the real stories of actual encounters with the bizarre and the unknown. These are real, scary stories.
When Aaron and Shalita planned to spend the night at the Myrtle's plantation,
they knew its tragic history, and they had heard about a curse. But they didn't know that the rooms where they'd be staying might already be occupied.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Shalita. Children who've been dead for a long time still dwell there. Their spirits are still inside of the house.
I know there are approximately around 10 murders that have happened there and 1 suicide. We thought it would be really interesting to go out there and see what would happen and spend the night there.
Girl, what you done got yourself into?
Many things have happened at the Myrtles. Murders, suicides, romance, you know, the whole 9 yards, basically.
Just driving along. No thoughts really about what's gonna happen when I get there.
The Myrtles were founded around the late 1700s.
General David Bradford came here fleeing for his life from Washington troops. It was burial ground for the Tunica Indians, and they were not burying their dead. And he piled those remains to the side and burned them. Because sacred ground was destroyed, a lot of people feel the plantation can't help but be cursed.
Probably the most famous story of the plantation is Chloe, who was a slave at the time. Her master caught her eavesdropping and cut off her ear. Chloe was afraid that she was going to get thrown out of the house, so she decided to put poison in a birthday cake, and the whole family was going to eat it. And then she would be able to nurse them back to health and therefore stay in the house. Well, Chloe accidentally over-poisoned the family and killed the wife and 2 children. She was later hung and now supposedly haunts the house, and so do the 2 little girls. You may hear children laughing and playing when there are no children there.
I stayed here the night before Halloween. Woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning or so. Very cold feeling is what woke me up. And I noticed a little girl about the age of 5 or 6 in a white dress jumping on the edge of my bed. Thought it was a dream until the next morning at breakfast, I heard another woman describing the exact same incident. And that's when I realized I had had a little ghost in my room.
One of the waitresses in the restaurant came in one day and she said, "What is this?" And she showed this picture to me that definitely looks like it has a lady standing between 2 of the buildings. And I said, "I don't know." I said, "She wasn't there when I took the picture."
In order to analyze the mysterious image, Tita Moss had the photograph enlarged.
The results shocked her.
Every dimension was of human characteristic. Every one. She's in the house servant's dress, and she has on a turban. And then up on the roof of the house are the 2 children.
The dimensions in the photo are consistent with the human form. Aaron and Shalita are about to
learn that fear is larger than life.
When Aaron and Shalita set out to visit the Myrtle's plantation, they had planned a short stay. It was about to turn
into a long night for the restless and the dead.
There's another story of William Winter, who one night went down the stairs to answer the door and was shot in the chest. He climbed up 17 of the 22 steps and died on the 17th step. Now you can hear William Winter climbing the steps to the 17th step, and then it stops.
I was house sitting one night, spending the night here with a friend of mine, and we were sleeping in the bedroom at the top of the stairs. And we heard footsteps coming up the stairs, heavy footsteps. We never heard them go anywhere else in the house, never heard them go back down the stairs, and it was unexplainable. There was no one else in the house the next morning when we woke up.
The footsteps and the voices and words and songs. You know you're not alone. Spirits can, of course, move objects. They can throw things across the room. They can try to scare you out of an area, or they can try to lure you in.
Shalita and I are definitely going to be walking right into the unexplained and not knowing what's going to happen to us.
I know I'm going to be afraid.
Looking into stuff that's unexplained is definitely something I'm up for. I'm always open to learn new things, and I really think that makes you who you are, is how you've experienced things and how you've dealt with it. You're walking up that drive, and it's foggy, and you don't know what's out there.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Too late to turn back.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah.
You came up to the house, and walking up the stairs, you really feel like you're getting transported back into that time.
Hi.
We met Hester. She was going to give us a little bit of background on the Myrtles, some more stuff that we haven't learned before.
Used to be the children's.
We were shown to our rooms.
The dolls are in this room, and those dolls.
We had one question for Hester.
Is there going to be anybody else staying here tonight?
It's just the two of you, ladies.
After we finally got settled in, we decided we were going to go on a tour of the house by ourselves and do a little more in-depth exploring.
It's just that it's kind of.
We came to the dining room where Chloe poisoned the family. You see anything?
No, listening actually.
Yeah. Still really don't like that picture.
I know, me either.
Still don't like that
looking at
picture.
those eyes.
Freaky a little bit, just a tad.
I'm getting really bad chill again.
But
did you hear that? It's like walking.
oh my God.
I'm serious.
I know, I heard it too.
Wait, and as soon as we tried to listen, it stopped. I don't know what. I have no idea what that was. So we decided to go up the stairs again to see if that's where it was coming from, or if anybody or anything was up there.
1, 2, 15, 16, 17. Okay. 17th step, we get there. Really bad chill. Somebody died right here. You know, it's kind of hard to imagine that. And then you have this guy in this picture over here smirking at you, basically.
After exploring the places known for ghostly activity,
Aaron and Shalita returned to their rooms. Their rooms weren't nearly as safe as they had hoped.
We decided we were going to do little intervals. I'd wake up on the hour, and she'd wake up on the half hours. So I'm hearing footsteps through a closed door that's supposedly supposed to be locked. So my first thought is to go get Shalita. So I grab my camera and I haul butt.
The girls could find no explanation for the noises. Erin tried to conquer her fears and went back to her own bed.
I'm moving out.
I had to go back. I, in a way, was kind of proving something to myself that I wasn't going to be scared. When it's happening, you're going through your head and you're saying, what is going on? Why are there footsteps? At first you just brush it off as somebody's out there, but then you remember nobody's in here with you. And it just goes through your head and you freak. Everything stops and you stop breathing, you stop, thinking, you're listening and you're wondering and you realize, okay, you need to do something about it and either you move or you're gonna have something happen to you. There's definitely paranormal activity going on here. It's creepy, it's interesting, and yeah, twice something rattled my door pretty bad, but I'm happy that I came and I'm happy that I had that experience, even though it freaked me out for a while.
Is the ghost of a Jesuit priest making a dark pilgrimage
through the halls of Manresa Castle. In the early 1900s, a Jesuit priest died by his own hand in the attic of Manresa Castle. In the year 2001,
2 local teens searched this Port Townsend landmark for the ghostly figure that guests say reaches out from beyond the grave.
After witnessing what I witnessed last night, I will never spend the night here again.
There are enough strange things that go on here that make me believe that there is some kind of force at work.
Something is definitely up here with us right now.
I wouldn't stay up there. No way.
This is the scariest place I've ever been.
My name's Joey, and last night my friend Casey and I stayed overnight in a haunted castle.
I've heard the stories that Manresa is haunted since I was really little.
This place is full of surprises.
Things that typically happen here are that people hear footsteps at night on the 3rd floor, and what is strange is that there's nothing on the 4th floor above them.
I used to do the maid work upstairs. A lot of times you just get the feeling somebody's watching you, You stand up, turn around, nobody's there.
Usually around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, the pictures will fall off the wall. There's no vibration, no reason for it to happen.
I work at a grocery store across the street from the castle. I had heard stories about it being haunted, and I've always wanted to spend the night in there. So I emailed Real Scary Stories, and they gave me the opportunity to check it out for myself.
The Manresa Castle was built in 1892 as Port Townsend's largest private residence by the town's first mayor, a German gentleman called Charles Eisenbeiss. And when he died, the place was empty for about 20 years. The Jesuit priests bought the place in the 20s. It was used by the priests until 1968.
I had heard that a priest had hung himself in the turret room up in the attic, and he's just kind of stayed here ever since.
There was one night that stands out in my mind when I was staying there that things began to happen. Lights were coming on and turning off for no reason. That's when I became aware that actually there was this spirit in my room that was doing these things.
When lights are turned on and off, or sounds are heard, footsteps walking, or a door closing, or they're making a commotion, they want you to be aware of them.
The creepiest place in the castle, I think I'm gonna name 2, the basement and the turret room in the attic.
When you go in the attic and you stand in the turret area, it's like a vortex. I completely lose my equilibrium.
I think we both knew that the attic was gonna be the most exciting place.
I don't know what's gonna happen when I go up there. I'm just really nervous.
You gotta try new things as you get older, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna spend the night here.
Casey and Joey noticed the castle was empty of guests.
At least those that you can see.
Casey and I arrived at the castle. The castle's huge. It's like 4 stories.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. I do not want to go in here.
We went in the basement where we walked into this big room that had ceilings that must have been 5 feet high and big metal pipes going across, and it was just basically dirt. Gosh, it's like a graveyard or something.
There's this big crack down in the corner, and Joey actually went under there.
You know, I'm really expecting to find something. Nothing else down there. Whoa, check this out. It's a rat skeleton. Look at that.
Casey and Joey might laugh at the skeleton of a rat in the basement, but they won't
laugh when they find out what's lurking in the attic.
Casey and Joey are about to learn that the priest has an eerie way of making his
presence known.
We were definitely excited about going up in the attic because something was most likely to happen.
Very interested.
That's where the hanging took place.
Oh, it's freezing up here.
We came into the turret room. You look up at the ceiling, it's like an upside-down ice cream cone, basically. This is where the monk, the priest, this is where he hanged himself. This is the spot right here. It's definitely a scary place. It's cold and lonely feeling. Okay.
Sit here.
Lantern in between us right here. This is just unbelievably lonely, and it's like you're dead. Something's going on up here. It's gotta be rain.
Oh my God, the lantern went out. We're sitting up here in the dark. Oh God. Okay.
You know what?
I ought to sit down. I'm freaking out here, Joey.
Gosh.
Oh. There's tapping or something coming from the other side.
Hello? Something's just walking there. Gosh, that scares me.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have went back up in that attic for anything at that point. That was pretty much the most frightening thing I've ever experienced in my life.
I wasn't scared like horror movie scared. I was scared like this is strange and new and I'd never seen this before. Scared. It was trying to show Casey and I that what he's been trying to show other people, which is that he's still here in Manresa Castle.
These are the stories of real people from across the country who have had experiences with the unknown. If you have a story to tell, write to us at Highland Entertainment, P.O. Box 2036, Old Chelsea Station, New York, New York, 10113. Tell us your real scary story.
Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids, Fox Kids.